Good day, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. This is another chartered meeting of SGI International Dynamic Speakers Club. My name is Edward Young and I'll be your Toastmaster of the evening. Today's meeting will center around motivation. According to Winston Churchill, the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, but the optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. Many successful people credit their success to their ability to be self-motivated. How do you keep yourself motivated in these uncertain and tremendously difficult times thanks to COVID-19? I will allow you to ponder this as our president, distinguished Toastmaster Willie Lowe, does his opening address. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmaster and guests. What made you join Toastmaster, or what made you want to attend a Toastmaster meeting? The motivation is for you to improve your communication skill, to overcome your fear of speaking in front of people, the public. I remember the day when I decided to join to improve my communication skill, because I don't want to be an engineer, a support engineer anymore. I want to be a support manager. I Google the internet. I asked Mr. Google, and Mr. Google give me an answer. Toastmaster.
These are the top results.
So what is the motivation that made me go and research for Toastmaster? Lee, Toastmaster Lee, what is my motivation? Do you know that?
No, what's your motivation?
Yes, what's my motivation to Google Toastmaster?
To improve your public speaking so that you can move to the front office rather than being in the back office.
Yes. Everyone us have a motive, want to achieve something. So the desire to search for information to get your motivation. And for example, I understand now it's the contest period in your Toastmaster calendar. Some of you who want to be first place winner, want to move for a club level to area, to district, area division to district, and eventually win champion. So what's your motivation? The motivation is to be number one. But what is the step you can take to be number one? Is it just by attending all the Toastmaster meeting to practice and after that go back? Or Toastmaster JJ, what is the motivation for people who want to get to the first place in a contest? Is it evaluation, feedback, or is it they just want to be first?
The second, just want to be there.
Okay, let me ask. A contest with area contest. Angela, what is the motivation that you want to be first in a contest? What made you do something? Do what you to motivate you to take on the next contest? Is it feedback, improvement, or just practice and practice and practice with no improvement? Which one?
I want to be better than I was before.
So what should you do to give you the motivation to get to the first place?
Keep practicing.
And one more thing, feedback.
Get feedback. Yes.
And improve on feedback, right?
Yes.
Without feedback, can you recall a time where you just want to practice, but you don't want to listen to feedback? Is that your motivation? Or be first is your motivation?
That's like saying, do you want breakfast, lunch, or dinner? I mean,
You just want to speak, correct?
you
That's
want
your
all
motivation.
of it. You want all of it in turn at the right time.
So did you take feedback as your motivation?
I think you also want encouragement because you're not sure you can do it. So the feedback has to make you feel I'm doing something right, as well as giving you actual practical things that you can do. When you feel I'm just waffling on, what can I do to be more dramatic? And someone says, lift up this, or why didn't you tell us X? It makes you start to run faster. Oh, I must do this, I must do that. You suddenly get
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Angela. If you want to achieve from A to B, your motivation is to win. And what is the step you need to take to win? So this is the message today, motivation. What is the step that lead you to have motivation to the end result? Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, President Willing. What is the motivation that has us up early in the morning? What is the motivation that keeps us going? Is it to make $1 million, to be a millionaire? Is it to maintain good health, for us to stay healthy and not to have to visit the doctor? Or is it to simply be the best version of ourselves? That is not easy in today's world, to be the best version of yourself. We have Netflix, the greatest distractor ever known to man. If I do not monitor myself closely, I will lose hours upon hours to Netflix. How do I stay motivated? How do I turn out the distractions and focus on my goals? I must remind myself that today I must be better than I was yesterday. Today, I must learn at least one new thing. That is how I keep myself motivated, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Let me ask you, Corey, how do you keep yourself motivated?
I always do morning meditation and keep enough sunlight every day, because every time I got the sunlight, I feel energized and I feel it enhances my mood. I feel more happy.
Yes, the sunlight is always rejuvenated. How about you, Jennifer? How do you keep yourself motivated?
I hope you can hear me because I'm having some problem.
We're hearing you.
Am I audible? Okay, thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone. How do I keep myself motivated? Well, I must say that my dog actually keeps me motivated. She is 16 years old now, very old in terms of human age. But she's blind and she is deaf. Although she is blind, she's still moving around like, you know, you are there. She just senses that you are there, no matter what. And she couldn't hear you, but she can feel you. So even though she is handicapped without being unable to see nor hear, she still goes around walking and loving us, even though she couldn't see, and she also can feel us, and she will always come very close to us. And because of that, I felt that I am really motivated by her with this incapable things that she couldn't do a lot of things, but she is still so loving. Yeah, I'm really motivated by her. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. I find motivation in similar places. I remember I was playing basketball and I tripped and fell and I hurt my knee. And I felt that was it. There's no way I can go on. But then as I looked into the stand, there was a child with one leg and a crutch. And that child was happy to be there. That child was going up and down the bleachers as though he had two legs. And here I am with a bruise on my knee saying I can't play anymore. I was motivated to continue. So yes, we find motivation in sometimes the strangest places. Yes, Gracie, how do you stay motivated?
How do I stay motivated? Well, there are about 7.6 billion people in the world right now. And if you think of everyone as a single dot, you realize that there are many, many dots out there. And I think what keeps me motivated is I'd like to stand out and I like to leave my mark. I think that's what a lot of us here would like too, because it's scary to think that once you're gone, your legacy just disappears with you. So to answer your question, I think what motivates me is I'd like to leave my mark in the world. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gracie. I will leave the rest of us to ponder on how it is that we keep ourselves motivated. How do we overcome our obstacles? We have a very exciting program this evening. We will start it off with a workshop from our very own distinguished Toastmaster, Lee Butley. Over to you, Lee.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Good day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. A very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you. Well, it depends on whichever part of the world you're in. For the workshop tonight, as its name states, it's a workshop. And therefore, you will not be just sitting down. You will be doing work. I would suggest that if it's easier for you to write, get a piece of paper and a pen ready. For others who would like to use Word instead to type, you're most welcome to open a brand new Word document now in preparation for the workshop. Are we ready? Excellent. The workshop tonight is get to the point. For those of you who have used the old Toastmaster system, the Competent Communication Manual, this is project 3 of the manual, where it talks about getting to the point when you are crafting your speech. Tonight, we're going to do it slightly different. For the workshop tonight, I will give you an overview of what get to the point is. And then we will use a speech map to craft a speech. And then guess what? You will all be practicing that. And of course, if time permits, we'll have some question and answers. And this is to kick you start off your speech crafting. Okay, in terms of if you come to a point where you say, I don't know, I have to give a speech. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to write. Well, Corey, this is where we get started for your next speech. Every speech must have a general and a specific purpose. The general purpose is, what do you intend your speech to deliver? Do you want to entertain? Do you want to inform, inspire, motivate, or persuade the audience? Okay, so first of all, start with the general purpose of your speech. And then with a specific purpose, this is where you have to think, what do you want the audience to do after listening to your speech? It's not just the call to action. It goes deeper and further than the call to action. You have a key message, you have a general purpose. Your specific message is, what do you want them to do? So let's start by looking at what a speech consists of. The first thing you have to do is to think of the message. So remember the general purpose. Is it to inform? Is it to persuade, to entertain, motivate, okay, or inspire? Once you have your message, for a 5 to 7 minute speech, you need to have 3 key points, no more than 3 key points. Okay? So you craft your speech in terms of, think of it as the first column, the second column, the third column. Okay, one column consists of 1 key point. Then understand your audience. When you're giving your speech, what does your audience consist of? Are they members of the community? If you're giving a speech to, let's say, an audience of accountants, if they are all accountants, then your speech can consist of the more technical terms and jargons. If your audience are there to listen to you, for example, if you're giving a keynote speech, they want to be inspired, to be motivated, then your message has to be around that as well. So you need to know your audience. After knowing your audience, you do your research. Okay, so that depends on the message that you want to present to them. Do your research. Make sure that they are credible sources. Wikipedia, unfortunately, is not a credible source. Refer to books, to journals, to newspaper articles, to the news. Okay, do your research well before you plan your story. Remember, storytelling is a very powerful technique to deliver your message effectively. Once you have planned your story, you need to internalize your presentation. What we mean by internalizing is not memorizing word for word. It's to know the flow of your presentation so that if you are stuck, all you have to do is pause, think of the flow of your presentation, and then you can continue. Okay, so remember the key points and the key flow of your presentation. Then you need to be able to connect with the audience. What can you use to connect with the audience? In the physical world, you use your speaking area. You use your eye contact, your gestures. In the virtual world, you have to make sure you have a strong video presence. You have to make sure your facial expressions are there to convey the message rather than the gestures. You have to make sure that your video is bright and not dark. So you need to be able to connect with the audience. If you do use PowerPoint, do not overcrowd your PowerPoint with words. Once you have connected with the audience, we say to solidify connections that you've made. We have made new friends here today, for example, at the meeting. Don't just say goodbye to them at the end of the meeting. Use your Facebook, use your Instagram, use your social media to stay in contact, because once you've started to build your network, you are able then to also perhaps build your speaking circle. You can have a mentoring happening. You can have other business relationship happening. You can have all sorts of things happening, but you need to make sure that you maintain the connection that you have. And now we are going to craft a speech. All of us right here. So have you got your piece of paper ready and your pen or your Word document? Excellent. So the first thing we do is think of the message. Okay, we're going to craft a speech now. Think of the message that you want to present to the audience. My example is, I want to tell the audience to embrace the new normal post-COVID-19. Okay, so that's my message to the audience. Do I want it to be an entertaining speech, an informative, inspirational, motivational, or persuasive speech? In my case, I want to motivate the audience, okay, to embrace the new normal. So once you've got your message and your general purpose, start with the first point. My first point is, we need to adapt to changes in the working environment. Okay, so remember, we're crafting a speech here. So you don't need to write full sentences, full paragraphs. It's the key point that you can use to jog your memory when you write your speech. Okay, so my first point is to adapt to changes in working environment. So how can I expand on my point? So what I want to talk about is, with the changes to COVID, we're working a lot from home at the moment. We don't have to go back to the office full time. So we can have flexible working arrangement. And to make it more effective, remember we say storytelling techniques. Okay, I can add a humorous anecdote or humorous story. In my case, what I was going to say is, I used to be a face-to-face lecturer. You know, face-to-face, no one escapes. When I look at them, when I call their name, they have to answer, right? In the virtual world, they will be able to hide behind the camera and behind the microphone. So what I wanted to do was use a story or anecdote, but a humorous one, so that my speech is not boring. So I looked at, okay, I used to be a face-to-face lecturer. I used to be very engaging. Now I have to look at the camera all the time. You know, a plus is I don't have to travel long hours. Minus is I missed out on my Netflix. An example. Okay, so you can add humor into your message. So once you've crafted the first point, then think of your second point, and you do the same. Think of the point, expand on the point, and then give some stories or anecdotes. Once you've done that, we move on to the third point. Okay, so at this point in time, I would like to pause for a minute to allow you time. Remember, we are going to practice at the end of this workshop. So what I would like you to do is at least have your first point ready. The rest, you can think about it after the workshop. Okay, for this session, we're going to have your key message, your general purpose, and then just one point. Tell us about the point, expand on the point, and give us a story. It could be a humorous story to support the point that you've made. Are we ready? Yes? If you can indicate that you have got your point ready, you have expanded on your point, and then include a story as well. If you have finished that, if you can give me a thumbs up, please. Or half-half. Half-half, okay, it's okay, we're crafting here. Okay, remember, you need to deliver this afterwards. So once you've got your first point, your second point, and your third point, we write the conclusion. But then you say, well, hang on, Lee, I don't give the speech that way. I don't do body, conclusion, and introduction. Yes, you're right. When you deliver the speech, you have to deliver using the format introduction, body, conclusion. If you write your introduction first, in most cases, you will write your body and your conclusion to fit your introduction. What if your introduction is not right? What if you have missed the point in your introduction? Therefore, when we craft a speech, we always start with the body. We always start with the key message. Have your key message solid in terms of, okay, I have got my first point, my second point, my third point. These are the points that I want to convey to the audience. Once you've got your body, then you write your conclusion. What do you want them to do? Okay. What call to action? Remember, now we come to the specific purpose. What do you want them to do after listening to your speech? In your summary or in your conclusion, you need to summarize and reinforce the key points. You include the call to action. Remember last week, CJ had a workshop, on introduction, body, conclusion. He gave you some samples as to what you need to do when you have your introduction, when you have your body and your conclusion. So this week, we are going to put that into practice. Okay, so refer to your notes from last week. What were the things that CJ suggested that we should incorporate into our speech? So once you've got your body and your conclusion, Then we write the introduction, because the introduction now is how we would like to have a strong opening. Remember, a strong opening could be a hook or a statement, a startling statement, or a rhetorical question. What we want to do is hook the audience, into, I would sometimes say, I used to say to my students, before I joined Toastmasters, whenever I start a class, it will take me 2 seconds to put the students to sleep. After I've joined Toastmasters, well, they stay 10 seconds now. They stay a bit longer because I learned to incorporate hooks into my opening. So what you want to do now is introduce your key message, introduce your strong opening in terms of, hooking the audience in preparation to listen to you for your main part of the speech in the body, and then you end with a strong conclusion. And the last thing you do then is to write the title. Okay, so this is a catchy title that you can put together, to hook again the audience. What I want to share with you is once I had to give a speech, and I had my title, Creamy Custard in a Public Toilet. That was my title. Creamy custard in a public toilet. What comes to your mind when you have a title like that? That sweet creamy custard, but it's in the public toilet, right? It could either A, put you off, or you could go, I wonder what that is. I better listen more. Okay? But if I tell you I love durian, then you will know, oh, okay, she's going to talk about durian. I'm not interested in durian, and you switch off. Okay? It's either that or you go, oh, I love durian. I'm going to listen more. So by switching my title to a catchy title, I can have a better percentage of the audience hooked at least until my opening, right? Yeah. Now, what we're going to do is, I will just come back here very quickly. And we will now practice. Okay, remember, we crafted our speech just now. So now we're going to practice. And now just before I stop my slideshows, to show you the references. Are we ready, everyone? Yes, no,
Yes.
woohoo, excellent. Who would like to volunteer to go first? What we will do is when we practice, we're going to give 2 to 3 minute speech. Who would like to go first? Remember, volunteer or you be voluntold.
I don't mind going first.
Okay, we have our first volunteer. What's the title of your speech, please, Edward?
We must all donate blood.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Toastmaster Edward Young with We Must All Donate Blood. We must all donate blood. Edward Young.
Do you want to be a superhero? Do you want to save the world? Or at the very least, be the best version of yourself? How can you do this? Mr. President, Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We can be a superhero simply by donating blood. How is this? Well, when you donate blood, it encourages the body to replenish the blood that you donate. So your body recuperates faster. It builds new blood to invigorate your body, to circulate the blood, the oxygen and nutrients throughout your body. You have fresh new blood. You are a stronger version of yourself. You're on your way to being a superhero. What do superheroes do? They save lives. You may not think that donating blood saves lives, but imagine someone in an accident in need of operation. What do they need for that operation? They need blood. If your wife, your sister, or your girlfriend, maybe your sweetheart, is having a baby, she may need blood. That's 2 lives you'll be saving, the mother and the child, simply by donating blood. So 1, you are becoming healthier because your body is creating new blood cells. And 2, there's someone in the world who can thank their continued existence to you. You are a healthier version of yourself, and you have become a superhero by saving a life. Fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, I encourage you all to go out and be superheroes by donating blood. Lee?
Woohoo! Well done. Thank you, Toastmaster Edward Young, for your speech. Can anyone tell me, can you identify what was the general purpose? Was it to persuade, to motivate, to inspire, to entertain, to inform? Which one of these?
Persuade.
To persuade? Yeah. Who agrees is to persuade? Yeah. Excellent. So if you are able to identify the key purpose or the general purpose of the speech, that means that Edward has crafted his speech correctly in a way to enable you to identify the message. And now, specifically, remember, there's a general purpose and a specific purpose. What was his specific purpose? So his speech was to persuade, but persuade us to?
Donate blood.
Donate blood. That's right. And, so in just a few minutes, he was able to craft his speech and then share with us, his viewpoint, and then persuade us to try and be superheroes by donating blood. So if you think about it, it's not that hard to craft a speech, right? It's not that hard. You can be any topic, but if you follow the structure that I gave you earlier, you should be able to craft any speech at all. We've got another volunteer, I believe, JJ. Yes, would you like to, what's the title of your speech, please?
Mentor Darth Vader.
Ah, yes, Mental Darth Vader. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome JJ, our Mental Darth Vader. Mental Darth Vader, JJ.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Have you ever had a mentor when you are beginning your Toastmaster journey? Talking about me, I didn't have any. When I joined Toastmaster in 2009, I was in a military service. I was too busy to join Toastmasters meeting, but I loved to be there because their vibration was so light and I liked it. And that was so attractive. So even once in a year is attractive. I love the vibration there. And in that kind of situation, can any club officer can pay attention those kind of member in the club? That was me. That was my situation, that I couldn't have any attention from club officers. And I don't blame that because I was on the ship. I have to do my job. Now I retired. Retired in 2016. Then that was the right moment of going to the Toastmaster meeting every week, and I couldn't miss it. So that time I was too late to be a mentee. I was a VPE, a club. How can I be a mentee there? I should be a mentor. So anyway, I was doing mentor without being a mentee. That way I am your father. So So who would like to be a mentor to me? And I have many mentors next to me. So bear with me. I'll give you a role. Take it or leave it. I'll give you a hard time. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster Lee.
Thank you, mentor Darth Vader, master. Who wants to be his mentee? Who wants to be mentored by the Darth Vader? Yeah. Come on, don't all rush in at once. Yeah. Well done. Thank you, JJ. Yes, indeed. Could you identify the general purpose of his speech? What was he trying to do? Or what was he, was he trying to motivate us, to inspire us, to inform, to persuade, or just purely to entertain us?
Inform and entertain.
Inform and entertain? Yeah, Angela? Yeah. Or Angela Lee, I should say. Yeah. Anybody else? Were you inspired to be a mentor or mentee? Were you motivated? Yeah, Peter, it's good. Yes.
Motivated.
You were motivated? Excellent, to either become a mentor or mentee. If not, join his force. May the force be with you, right? We've got our master Darth Vader here. So his speech was to motivate us, to look for mentors or mentees when we join Toastmasters, because we can learn from each other as well. Okay? So he had the general purpose, and then he had the specific purpose as well. Well done. Thank you, everyone. I think I have maybe time for one more. Who would like to volunteer or be voluntold?
Can I go?
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Jennifer. Your hand was a bit too slow. Please, what was the title of your speech, please, Joan?
My title of my speech is Opportunities Are There.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joan D'Souza with Opportunities Are There. Opportunities are there. Joan D'Souza.
Thank you. President, fellow Toastmasters and guests, have you ever felt in your life that there are no opportunities in your life and that you are feeling useless and miserable because of that? I can tell you that is not true. This world is a beautiful place to live in, and there are multiple opportunities around you. You just need to dig into it. You need to dig into your heart, your soul, your mind, and just connect with people around you. I can give you a very good example in this area. I'm trying to become a writer right now, and I'm looking for various opportunities. So I started looking in multiple organizations around in my area of strength that can help me to become a better writer. And guess what? Toastmasters really helped me for that, because as I'm trying to write my speech, I feel the need to become a better writer. So when I'm looking around here and there were some people whom I reached out and I said, can I give a webinar out there so just I can make myself more prominent in this area, that I am a writer out here in the strength that I'm interested in. So they agreed to me and decided to have me to give a webinar. Can you imagine somebody who has very little experience in writing is giving a webinar within and just trying every time and reaching out to people to give a webinar? And there are people who are interested in you, in helping to promote you, because as I said earlier, this place is a beautiful place to live in, and there are very helpful, kind people everywhere. You just need to search who they are, and we are all wonderful people out there to help you. You just need to promote people to help you, and you have to help them too. So my friends, all in all, I would conclude my speech and say that there are opportunities out there. If you feel that you don't have opportunities, just look around yourself, call out to people. People will reach out to you and they will help you, and you will help them too down the road, and make this place a beautiful place to live in. So I would like to conclude my speech and say there are opportunities. Just look around yourself and feel always inspired and motivated to contribute in this world. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joan D'Souza. So everyone, if you'd like to unmute your microphone and share with us, what did Joan do? Did she motivate, inspire, entertain, or persuade you? Sorry, yeah, Angela Lansbury?
She was very good because she showed us something we could actually do, which is practical, which anybody could do. It wasn't just something dramatic that happened to her, and it wasn't just an airy-fairy idea. It was a very practical idea. It was good.
Yes, that's right. She inspired us that opportunities are around us. Opportunities are everywhere. You just have to take that first step and do it. And then she shared a story with us. According to her, she said she had limited writing experience, but she was asked to give a webinar. So imagine if she had that opportunity, she took the challenge and then she was able to do it. Remember? Okay? So she inspired us to say, well, hang on, you don't have to have experience, but if the opportunity is there and you take the opportunity, you would be able to do something. So were you motivated and inspired? I was. I thought, maybe I'll try that next. Thank you, Toastmaster John. Maybe I'll try stand-up comedian, but I think I'll fail. But that's all right. And I believe we have time for one more speaker. So Toastmaster Jennifer, may I have the title of your speech, please?
Thank you. I just drafted it just now. So
yes. May I have the title of your speech, please?
Listen to your heart.
Okay. Toastmaster Jennifer Lim, listen to your heart. Listen to your heart, Toastmaster Jennifer Lim.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Have you ever been at any point in your life faced with a decision that you're not sure whether to do it or not to do it? Raise your hands. Have you ever faced that? Thank you. I do see some hands. Well, personally, I had, not just once, but several times. But this particular one, I remembered so well because I remember the date. It was on the 5th of November, 2015. That day, my late husband came back, or rather we took him back in an ambulance back home after a blood transfusion. And he was very tired that night, or rather that day. So he slept almost the whole day. Then in the afternoon, I have many friends, relatives, everybody came to wish him on his well-being, to check on him. And I was there as well, of course. Then he after that, he told everyone that he was very tired. He wanted to sleep for a while. So we let him rest. So I was talking to all my relatives and they said, oh, he looked very good. It seems that he's really very cheerful. And the only thing is after the blood transfusion, he was really tired. But in the night, he suddenly woke up because I have other friends who came. And then he started to say, hi, oh, I remembered you. I would like to go out with you, those lady friends. And I'm the wife, standing there. And he started to say to all the beautiful ladies, except the wife. And he said, I want to go out with you. Shall we go out? We will go on a tour together. And I was, holding my arms and I looked at him. What was he trying to do, in front of his wife? So, but I didn't say anything. I just let him continue. And all the lady friends said, yeah, Jack is his name. Jack, we look forward to the day when we will go up together, all of us. And I reminded my late husband and I said, hey, your wife is right here. Please listen to your heart. Are you sure? Your wife is in front of you and you never say anything to your wife. And he looked at me, he said, oh yes, my wife, my darling wife, of course. I didn't forget you. We will go one-on-one, both of us together to a romantic place. I'll take you wherever you want to go. And I was very happy, of course. Then subsequently, again, he was very tired and he said, I like to rest. And he told all the friends. And at that very moment, believe it or not, my mind was in a turmoil. See, I'm a Catholic. So my mind was in a turmoil. One side of my brain, my mind was telling me, please ask your son to go to the church, ask the father to come to your house and give your darling the communion. It seems like it's a last rite, you know, but we don't know that it will be his last. And the other side said, no, don't do it. He has plenty of time. You have plenty of time, so don't. But the right side said, you would regret if you don't do it. You better ask your son to go to the church. And the left side again said, don't, just don't wake him up. Just leave it. You have plenty of time. So, and my heart was telling me, you better do it. You better do it. Otherwise, you will regret your whole life. So the benefit of the doubt, I listened to my heart and I said, okay, better do it. So I told my son to go to the church and the father drove the father to the house. The father gave my husband his communion. And the next morning at 10:45 in the morning, my husband just passed away peacefully. We had some chat before and he passed away. Boy, can you imagine that I was very happy that I listened to my heart and he managed to get his last rites from the church father and I don't regret my whole life. So fellow Toastmasters, remember, although your heart is on your left, listen to your heart because it is always right most of the time. So do take that into consideration and listen to your heart. Back to you.
Wow. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for sharing with us. You know, I'm glad you listened to your heart and your husband got his last communion. Yeah. I was speechless. My heart was crying, my face was crying, you know. But wasn't that moving? You know, what a moving story that Jennifer shared with us. But she also injected some humor into it. Remember, a good storyteller takes you on a high, brings you down, and then before she ended or he ended the story, brings you up again. And that's what we want to do, right? Is to be able to have a speech that's so impactful, that have a lasting impact on our audience, but at the same time, to also motivate them to do something. Remember, there's a general purpose to your speech, whether you are entertaining, it's an entertaining speech, an informative speech, an inspirational, motivational, or persuasive, and a specific purpose as well. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your participation in the workshop today. I hope that I was able to at least, motivate you to craft your next speech so that, follow the structure that I've shown you earlier, and then I will see you at your next speech. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
A round of applause for Toastmaster Lee Butler, please. That was most informative workshop, Lee. I was able to craft a speech in relatively short period of time. I've never used that technique before, but that was rather enlightening. I came up with a title. I came up with 2 or 3 points. I craft the conclusion. Then I draft the opening to draw the audience in, to engage my audience, to capture their attention. Thank you for sharing those techniques with us. I can now follow Patricia and try to match her presentation from last week. Well, Toastmasters, we are at the point of the meeting where we will be on a break for 10 minutes, and then we will resume. Please feel free to unmute and engage, or step away for a cup of coffee.
Toastmaster of the day, you can continue table topic. After table
we can go
topic,
straight into table
then
topic? Oh, okay, great. Well, break postponed. We will go straight into our table topics. And to lead us in the table topic session of our meeting, we have none other than our very own capable Toastmaster, Toastmaster Jennifer. Please take it away, Toastmaster Jennifer.
Jennifer, you're muted.
Fabulous evening again to everyone, Club President as well. Table topics is to help members to practice speaking off the cuff. You will be given a topic, any topic. You will be given a topic. And based on that topic, you will speak on this topic for about 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute, 1 minute on green, 1.5 yellow, 2 minutes red. And you have 30 minutes to wrap up the speech. Tonight's theme is about motivation. So I'm going to do this on a very different note. There will not be any topic. It will just be picture. Look at the picture, relate that picture to the theme, motivation. Tell us within 1 to 2 minutes or 2.5. Just to give you an example, you have this, okay? Which is, you can see is 2 bunnies and the carrots. Underground one is a very small carrot, and the other one is a huge one. So based on this story, you can actually say something like, success is not everything that you just see outwardly. The picture, the bunny on the right actually tell you, you can see that the plant is flourishing, whereas the one on the left is not so. So what you see externally may not be what you get, okay? I congratulate that bunny for having such a fruitful vegetable, whereas the one on the left is small and tiny. However, the one on the left, if you were to dig way below, you can be very sure that this is very motivating, because outward sign is not what you see inwardly. So looking at the one on the left, you can tell that it is very fruitful, and success is to this bunny may have put in a lot more effort, like fertilizer or whatever, to make the fruit so successful. Whereas the one on the right only shows you the outward side, but not the one below, because it is not as fruitful. So something like that, okay? So I would encourage everyone to try. May I have some volunteers? Yes, Joan?
Can I go first?
Yes.
Jenny?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Which one?
I
Which
want
topic?
to take table topic 10.
Can someone record them for me? Okay. This, can you see it?
Okay. President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. If your dreams don't scare you, they are too small. If your dreams don't scare you, they are too small. And this dream really scares me because it is showing me that there is a big arrow out there, this picture, and it pointing out to something really particular. And it scares me to see the hand of that big hand of the person and say whether I can really do this. I can just focus on my goal and do it because it looks too big for me. But my friends, believe in yourself. You all can do it. For example, I know a lot of people in our Toastmasters who are doing wonderful sessions and wonderful things. I know a very close friend of mine who is right now here as well, who is writing books after books, blogs after blogs, Angela Lansbury. And she's a wonderful writer who keeps writing every time. And she thinks big. And there are many more like her who are here, like our president who started this Toastmasters Club for 2 years now, and it's growing and booming everywhere. So my friends, if these are the dreams that we need to hold on to, these are the kind of people that we need to hold on to and say that we all can dream and we all can think big. You don't have to be a very a minor person for that, a small person. You don't have to underestimate yourself. We all can do it. You just have to dream. Thank you. And back to you, Jennifer Lim. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, you can also interpret in another way that this particular person managed to successfully dig out the key to his motivation, whatever motivates him, the key to his success. Okay, next person, please. Who else? Can someone else volunteer?
Okay, I'll do it. Table topic 1. Angela Lee.
Okay, Angela. Table topic 1.
Good evening, fellow members, ladies and gentlemen. We are always sometimes in a very awkward situation. And you can see from the picture, there is a woman sitting facing back with us. He is sitting down on the beach, and maybe she gets a fall, so you can see there is a girl looking at her, but she can't help her because the lady looks a little bit heavy for this little girl. However, there is a gentleman in front of him trying to help him to get up. So life, we will have some falls, but remember, there are always some people around us. They will help us in whatever circumstances. So don't afraid that you have it. When you fall, just believe that you can get up again by yourself. If not, there are some people around you. They will help you to get up. So don't lose hope. Whenever there is hopeless situation, remember there is always people around us to help us. So that is my answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angela. That is very motivating indeed. That even if you fall, you can rely on some other outside people to help bring you up, you know, and to help you. Thank you so much. Next one, please. Next person. Who else would like to volunteer? It's getting more interesting, you know.
Jennifer, I think Gracie
I want to go next.
volunteered earlier.
Gracie? I can't see the chat. Oh, okay, then Gracie. Gracie.
Thank you so much. I'd like tabletop number 17.
17, okay.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, imagine this. You are in a building and that building is on fire. That building is about to collapse. You are about to die. For some people, that may be the most interesting, that may be the most scary highlight of your life. You are in a building and you are going to die. You think about your family, you think about your children, you think about how you and your family are going to die in that building. But suddenly you hear it, the wee woo of a fire truck. I don't know how it sounds like in other countries, but here in Indonesia, it's more of a long trailing siren. But in other countries, it's wee woo. And for the firefighters, oh, yeah, it's routine for them. They put out fires every day. It's their job. It's routine to them. So they rush there, they put it out. If they're lucky, there are no casualties at all. So they extinguish the fire, you're safe. And by God's grace, you have your family back. And now put yourself in the shoes of said firefighters. Every day you're called to the scene. Sometimes there are minor fires, just regular small fires that are enough to elicit so much fear from people. But every day you slide down that pole, you do whatever it takes to make sure your job is all right. But essentially it's the same job nonetheless. You get out, you get inside your truck, and you extinguish fire. Now, doesn't that repetition just sound so incredibly boring? Doesn't it just sound so incredibly bland? My take on motivation from this picture is that these firefighters look happy. And I think that happiness is something that is incredibly hard to find in a repetitive job. So whether it be dancing down a pole, not in that sense, if you catch my drift, or just happily cruising along to your fire truck, or simply, dancing, grooving with your friends, whatever it is that you do, even if you are a firefighter whose job is to every day put out flames, see the beauty in it, because essentially all of us are stuck in the routine of society. And if we don't see what's nice about it, if we don't motivate ourselves to see the beauty in it, then who will? Thank you.
Thank you, Gracie. Yes, whatever you do, whatever job you are doing, and whatever you are, whether you're dancing or pole dancing, you just get motivated in whatever you're doing. So next person, Yogesh. Hold on, Yogesh, isn't it?
Yes. Yogesh.
Which table topic?
Table topic 7.
7.
Okay. Hi everyone. Firstly, apology. I want some apology as I am a stammerer. So yes. The picture clearly states that there is a big stone, and that girl is holding that particular stone. That is her last hope of surviving. If he fails to hold that particular wall, then absolutely she is going to die. So so the picture states that never lose hope in life. If you will lose hope, you won't achieve something big. Instead, you achieve you will achieve something that which is not suitable for you and for your family member. So this is all the picture states. Yeah, over to you, host. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Yogesh. Okay, and I have Rajan, is it? Rajan? Oh, JJ.
Yes.
Rajan first.
Yes, can you hear me, Jennifer?
Which, Rajan, which table
Yes.
topic?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I'll go for 12.
12.
Wow. Don't you think? Sometimes we fight with our own people, no matter whether it's in family or in our workplace or with friends. No matter how close we are, no matter how our belief system match with each other, still we're going to have conflict, right? And we're going into the situation as in the pictures shown here. So let me tell you one thing, people. In life, we get a lot of conflict, no matter what kind of people we live with, or no matter what sort of closeness we have with other people. But always remember one thing. Conflict happens doesn't mean that we can't solve them. We need to find a common ground in which we can find solution, no matter it's at our workplace or it's with our friends or it's at any situation. That is only the best way to go ahead in life. If you want to get ahead in life, people don't expect not to have conflict. Expect conflict, but also try to find solution for the conflict that you get in. Up to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, find a solution to any conflict that you may have. So that is the motivation. Now I have Patricia. After Patricia will be JJ. So Patricia. Patricia.
Is it Patricia Tay?
I think it's on the chat.
Oh, okay.
Patricia Tay, is it? Yeah.
Is it? All right. I didn't volunteer myself, but I'll
I
try.
don't know. Because Lee Buckley.
Did my mentor volunteer me?
Oh, maybe. Patricia.
I'll take table topic 2.
2.
Thank you for this topic. We see leaves. This is about growth. I think it is important that we always grow. We keep on growing and we never stay the way we are. We should always be better than we were yesterday. And in every day, we should look out for new opportunities to learn. There should be more and more leaves growing. Just like in our lives, we should be learning more and more things. And you know what? We should motivate others so they grow along with us. Just look around you. There are so many opportunities and so many ways to bless people too. I think foundation is so important, which is why we must stay motivated. When we are motivated, we will be willing to grow. And in order to be motivated, it is important to look out for things that you enjoy. Do things that excite you. Each time you embark on a new journey on something that you enjoy, you will always look for growth. And you will look for ways to bless people around you. Thank you. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Patricia. Yes,
Thank
no
you.
matter how difficult the situation is, even if there's no soil, just rock, you just grow and motivate others to grow. Now, JJ.
Yes, I like to go 11.
11.
All right. Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master. Whenever I walk down the road, I see ants. Many ants on the line, and they're picking up something. And I follow them. And it's so wonderful to follow those kind of creatures. But sometimes I see some missing point. Here we can see they're trying to make a circle, but one ant is off the edge, and let's say he is doing something else that the rest is not doing. All right, the rest is trying to make something, but this one is like to create something else. And I think one of those kind is that guy. A single guy is creating his own reality, rather than those creatures are creating collective conscious activities and trying to make a circle. But this one is creating own reality, going off the edge and doing something else. So the collective guys are creating some, let's say, Jedi Force, but this guy is following his own gods and own darkness. And this guy is welcoming the rest. So let's say that if you knew the power of the dark side, you should join us. Then this guy is creating more dark side of the force, and they eventually get to know each other in the force. Back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you, JJ. Unity is strength. that other end just want to be alone. Thank you so much. I believe that's the last, JJ is the last speaker. So back to the table, no, back to the Toastmaster of the day. Oh yeah, sorry, the timing of all the speakers, please.
I think all is eligible for the voting.
All qualified. Thank you, Corey. So let's vote. Let me know if the voting is
50% there.
9 of 18. Sorry?
50%.
Only 50%. Can I ask everybody else to vote? We need more voting. Come on, come on. Let's motivate the speakers. Yeah, 66. Yeah, we need more. More voting, please. Let us vote for the best table topic speaker. Yeah, more. Only 13 of 18 attendees, 22 attendees we have. Come on, 72%. More. Yes. All those who didn't speak earlier, can you please vote the speakers? Let us motivate our table topic speakers. Yeah, 77. Let me know when the polling is ended. I think we are still 77. Come on. What happened to the rest? Let's move up the percentage. Toastmaster of the day, you check the timing and let me know.
We have.
Are we okay? More, please. We are only 77%. Who else has not voted?
Jennifer, I think you can stop sharing the.
Yeah, okay. Let's end the polling then. Polling is closed. Back to you, David, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you for a very entertaining and challenging table topic session, Toastmaster Jennifer. I would have been hard pressed to speak on most of those pictures, so I congratulate all the speakers for doing an excellent job. Are we going on a break or going straight into this next session? Yes, we are going on a break for 10 minutes. So stretch your legs, get you a cup of coffee, and we will resume in 10 minutes. We are about to resume other than Azima. Toastmaster Azima.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters, fellow guests. If I tell you that lion is coming and lion will eat you all and you will all be dead, you will be scared and start taking actions. But if I tell you that climate change is coming and climate change is coming now, no one will be scared. No one will take actions. Why? Because it's not happening now. It's not visible. And it's not personal. Maybe our kids will see its effects in the long run. 2.5 million people died of excessive heat in 2019. Just $10 worth of coal-fired electrons powers your cell phone for next 10 years. At what cost? Why it is so cheap? It has a cost of our health. It has a cost of our climate change. And then there are hidden costs involved. Okay. There are hidden costs involved of burning coal, gas, and eating meat. So let's see what the actions we are taking now. The action number 1, urge government to take action. In December 2021, international conference will take place in Glasgow. The aim is to have broader emission targets, to have ambitious planning to achieve those targets, and to have accountability bill to ensure that government is following through all those targets. Number 2, use energy wisely. The furnace, which is sitting like idle car, swap it with heating pumps. Swap your gas stove to electric stove. Use cold water washes. air dry your clothes, use Energy Star electronics and energy savers efficient bulbs. Unplug all the electronics that are not in use. Have minimalist mindset by recycling, reselling, and donating the goods that are not in use. Number 3, eat meat-free meals. Buying organic food is really good because it is free from antibiotics and hormonal growths, and it is produced in healthy soil. Growing animal for food is very inefficient because 5 to 7 kilograms of grain used to produce only 1 kilograms of beef. Then there are cost of energy, cost of water, cost of transportation. Synthetic pesticides and fertilizers all are made up of fossil fuels. To transport them, to manufacture them involve a lot of greenhouse gases. Number 4, start climate conversation. People trust the family, the loved ones whom they spend time with, not the scientists and environmentalists. Have fun-filled interactive chat box where you can teach them about climate change, which will decrease the divisiveness and create common ground. Number 5, green your commute. 24% of pollution is caused by pollution. Therefore, ride a bike, take public transit, use electric cars instead of heavy big cars. Be advocate of bike lanes and fly less. Number 6, consume less and enjoy more. Go for simple pleasures such as nature walk, being with the loved ones, making difference in other people's life, which will create belonging, happiness, and which will create a sense of purpose. Therefore, go for mixing, sharing, creating, repurposing, composting, recycling, rather than buying, consuming, and wasting. 100 million tons of plastic is sitting in oceans and landfills. 300,000 of marine died every year because of plastic. Therefore, take action. Curb the single use of plastic and use paper bags, cloth bags, use steel and glass containers. Number 7, invest in renewables and divest from fossil fuel. Even if you haven't installed the solar panels and wind turbines, go for online local renewable energy co-op projects where you can invest, own your part, and get return on investment in the end. Meet banks, universities, and institutions and check if it is fossil fuel free. If not, then go for divestment campaign. For example, McGill University has pulled 70 million of fossil fuel money out of 1.3 billion of endowment funds. Also 400,000 spent on efficiency on 100,000 square foot of building will give you saving of 1.50 per square foot on a similar building without on efficiency, which will give you year-end saving of $150,000. Number 8, mobile for global local action. Each level of government has specific responsibility. In Canada, we have federal system, and federal system gives all the responsibility to municipalities, which are responsible for wastage collection, sewage system, building, transportation, recreation, and library. It's a good place to start. Look for council members. Understand their priorities. Locate them to the people who know them personally or through their work. You can ask city staff members, climate progressive counselors, and understand their priorities. Create public support group meeting. Meet the people of different community and groups. Meeting 10 people of varied background is better than 100 people with similar background. Email campaign. Sending emails to 10 people with original message is better than sending 100 emails with form messages. Write in the newspaper letters to the editor and opinion group. Create music messages, other messages. Number 9, get politically active. Vote at all levels of government. Register yourself. Get informed, not only about the ones who are highlighted on the media. Climate politicians vary widely, so research about them Meet them at town halls and debate center, ask questions, and let them know that you are there and your vote counts and you'll be voting for them. In the end, in conclusion, I would like to say that we all are the part of this world. We all must contribute by taking good care of it. It's not late yet. If we do little things, it will become great in the end. So not only go for climate change, let's go for lifestyle change. Let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Azuma. I must say your presentation was in line with the theme of the evening. Congratulations. And now for our second speaker. This evening's speaker is none other than our very own Kanan Sankara.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Can you enable the sharing, please? Thank you. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished members. Just 1 second, let me share the screen and then I can speak very freely without any intervention. Okay. All right. I shared it. It is taking time, no problem. But how many, let me ask you one question. Let me start this with one question. What makes you to join a Toastmaster club? Every one of us, first of all, want to know, can you see my screen? Still, okay. Let me see whether you are able to see my screen or not. Okay, if it is not, no problem. Don't worry. Let us not worry about it. If you are not able to see, that's okay. If the club has got many members, if the meeting is attended by many members, that inspires us to join that club. We know that as a guest, I joined Singapore Toastmasters and I participated in the table topic. I feel welcome. So I thought, oh, this is a great club so that I can join this club. Same way, everybody sees, okay, we have many members to attend, so we will be part of them. So we can definitely get many help. So I want to first start as how to attract membership for the online clubs, because in-person club, people likes to shake hands with somebody, people likes to meet somebody. I would love to see Lee Bagley and give a warm hug and say, hey, Lee, I saw you last week. You are here now. You know that gives a affectionate, friendly atmosphere. But in online atmosphere, it is different. We need to make sure bringing the membership is a different task. So I started a HPL project. What can be done to bring members for the online clubs? I started for one club. Then one of the members said, why can't we make it as all the online clubs? I thought Singapore also will help. Will get help, and Phoenix and all the online Toastmasters where I am a member could be benefited. So I started the HPL project. What is the HPL project? This is being mentored by 3 eminent distinguished Toastmasters. You have a study, you do some action, you get the feedback, you know which one will work and which will not work, and then you document that. And generally this is at least a 3 months project. I started around December. My goal was to get members for all the online clubs. I just want to share here which strategies worked for me and which did not work for me. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that the timeline was, before starting the strategies, the timeline was around 3.5 months. I started in December. It is, I finished at 15 April. Sorry for my arithmetic. I learned arithmetic when I was small. It is actually 4.5 months. Somebody who's smart, I know that you are all smart in arithmetic. You will say, hey, Kanan, this is 4.5 months. Okay. So I'm just bringing that The first speech was presented on 5th of February. I shared my vision and I said, this is what I'm going to achieve. Now, let me tell you what strategies worked for me. I covered many action items. I'm not going to go through everything. First, I'm going to say, today, did you all observe? Patricia Tay was a new member. She said, come on, buddy, see here in the chat, let us grow together. She motivates another guest to become a member. That is a classic case in the online Toastmaster where you can get membership. One of the new member is welcoming the guest. One of the new member is hand-holding and saying, I had a good time. I enjoyed the speech and I enjoyed being part of the club. So we all can learn together, join. This is a great way. Thank you, Patricia. This is a way we have to bring the bring in membership in the Toastmaster Club. We need to have a guest register. I think Singapore Toastmaster is doing a fantastic job on that and involving them, all the guests in the table topics. I learned this and I always advocate involving Singapore Toastmaster, include guests in the table topics. This is one strategy that will work. The second strategy that will work is the members calling, supporting new members or new members saying, broadcasting. They are the spokesperson for us, broadcasting and saying, join us. Thank you. Once again, as I mentioned to you, new members can welcome. That strategy will work very good. Even though I record the meetings and I put it on the Toastmasters, on the YouTube and all, I am not seeing many hits. At least in the last 3.5 months, I have 4 clubs which is showing the recording. I am also a president of another club, online club. We had a successful membership, but the recording meeting, hosting the recorded videos, I don't think it is adding value to us. But anyhow, it is a good thing for the members to learn. That is a good thing, but I am talking about from bringing the membership perspective. Don't think I am against a recording. This is a good thing for the members to learn, but that is not going to give membership for the club. Also, I also use the Facebook strategy, advertising in the Facebook about our clubs, showing this many members are there, but I did not see any increase in the membership because of the Facebook. But one thing I really learned, if you pay $12.50 per day, minimum, I think 2 weeks we have to pay. I think the hits, number of hits, our things will go in the top. So you will be able to get more members. This is the thing we experienced only during one of the webinars, but I do not know how successful for us to bring the membership.
Sorry,
one thing
I never pay anything.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Another thing is we can bring webinars. This is a good strategy, but I think we have to call webinars from the champion speakers and ask them to give a speech. I think this is a good thing to our club president who can try it out, and we can bring, I can help help Singapore on that, bringing new people, new leaders to give half-an-hour workshop like what Lee Bagley did today, can motivate on the leadership topics, can motivate the members to join. So these are the strategies which work. I said also some of the strategies did not work. This is a lesson for us so that we could take it and we could attract more membership for all the online clubs. Kudos to Singapore on 2 areas, on bringing, on involving guests, and number 2 is making the new members as a spokesperson to attract more members. These are the 2 areas I think the Singapore excels. In some other clubs, some other things excel. I don't want to speak about that, but these are the things we need to follow. We need to get more members. We should not say that, hey, I got 20 members, let us finish it. No, that is not a goal. In every meeting, we should have minimum 20 members. So if you have 30 to 40 members, then our meeting strength will be around 20 members. Once again, this is a HPL project I did. Thank you all for the support. And once again, let us make all the online clubs a stronger medium. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Kanan Sankara. And now our third speaker this evening is none other than our very own Angela Lansbury. Angela, take it away. You're on mute, Angela, you're on mute.
Can you see me and hear me? Put your hands up if you can hear me and see me. Some of you can. Good. I'll speak to those who can. Friends and friends to be, I have a happy message for you. You can live another year. Promise me you will live another year. A year ago, COVID started and I was wondering if I would live another year because my son was getting married and I was really worried that if I fell ill, they'd have to cancel the wedding. So I took enormous care and I thought back to when my son was a little boy and he had said to his grandmother, after he heard a friend's grandmother had died, Granny, Granny, when are you going to die? I was shocked. I was horrified. What a dreadful thing to say to my mother, to make her think that one day she was going to die. And of course, she was much nearer death than he was. She was much older. However, she looked on the bright side because she wasn't thinking about herself. She was thinking about him. And she leaned forward and she said to him, darling, I'm going to live for at least another year, probably lots and lots and lots longer. I promise you, I'm going to be here on your birthday. And we're going to celebrate with a big cake and lots of presents. And then I'm going to be here when we go on holiday. And we'll go and see the sea. And I'm going to be here New Year's Eve, ready for the next year. I'm going to be here at least a year, I promise you. And I'm going to be very careful crossing the road. Now, I want you to promise me that you will do what you were told in school today, what you told me about, that they told you to look right, look left, look right again every time you cross the road. And then you'll be safe and you will live for another year. And then we can celebrate New Year together. Well, what a lovely thing to say. He cheered up. And then she said to him, let's go off and have something nice to eat. I'll make you a boiled egg. Well, I can't show you a boiled egg because you wouldn't see it. It would be too small. So I'm showing you this ostrich egg to be sure you can see it. Can you all see it? Good. And what she told him to do was to cook a boiled egg, to be very safe. You don't put it in hot water, you put it in cold water. You bring the water to the boil, you leave it for 10 minutes and the egg gets gradually warmer. And then you wait a bit, you turn off the light again, and then you put in cold water and then you bash the egg on the top and then you can eat your nice boiled egg. What fun. So what a happy story. Of course, I learned from that. And when I got married, I cooked eggs the same way. And I started off my marriage very happily after the honeymoon. And the first day I cooked my husband a boiled egg and I put it in the cold water. And he rushed in and said, "No, no, no. What are you doing? You don't cook a boiled egg in cold water. How do you know how long it takes to boil? You can't calculate it. You're not scientific. Put it in hot water, boiling water." I said, "That's not how my mother did it." He said, "You're in my house. Do it my way." Well, I thought, I want to live another year. So I did it his way for the rest of my life, because every year I thought, I promise I'm going to live another year, so I'm going to cook the eggs his way. And it worked. I've lived for a long time. I won't tell you how long, but I've had a few birthdays. Now, my beloved mother, unfortunately, she lived another year, another year, another year, another year, and then one day she died. Naturally, I was upset. My father was very upset. My son was upset. I cried all day, and in the evening, my son said to me, "You've got to stop crying. I can't watch you crying anymore. If you can go on crying like that, I'll commit suicide." So I stopped crying because, like my mother, my purpose in life was to look after my son, to look after my family. So I stopped crying. And then the next day, my father rang me and he said, "I need your help." I said, "Yes, Daddy, what do you want?" He said, "I don't know how to cook breakfast." I said, "Make a boiled egg." He said, "How do I do it?" I said, "You start with boiling, no, do it the way Mother did it, which was the safe way. Start with cold water." And I told him how to cook eggs the safe way. And I carried on advising him how to cook so that every year for the next 5 years, he had me looking after him, and I made sure I lived another year. And I remember when my son was born, I couldn't sleep through the night. He was crying. But I promised myself, if I can only live another year, things will get better. He'll walk, he'll talk, and everything will get better. Now, you know that you have survived a year through the COVID-19 year. I want you to promise me that you will live another year. Put your hand on your heart and say, "For Angela, for Toastmasters, for everyone I know, for my family, I will live another year. I will live another year." Can you all say it? I will live another year. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angela, and I will live another year. Fellow Toastmasters, we have had 3 very motivating manual presentations, and now we go into the evaluations of these manual presentations. Our first evaluator for Toastmaster Azima's presentation is Jay. Jay, take it away.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Asmina, happy Earth Day and happy Earth Day to the rest of you. You shared us 10 wonderful tips on how to live sustainably, how to make wise choices as we live in this planet, and how to take good care of it. You gave us 10 beautiful tips as to how to navigate life as we step here on Earth. I love that it was very specific, it was well researched, and you had a lot of supporting documents about it. Now, how do we help you transform into a storyteller? I noticed that when you were delivering your speech, you were reading it. Maybe you had a manuscript right beside you. And I mentioned that because your eye contact was low. So let me help you by talking about the 3 R's. No, I'm not going to talk about reduce, reuse, and recycle, but I'm going to give you tips on how to use 3 R's on your next speech delivery. It's relax, raise, and recall. And what do I mean by that? Relax. Just to be, take a deep breath. The moment the Toastmaster of the day called you, you went right in and jumped to your speech. Now create a little drama. Create that pause. So as the Toastmaster would call you, you can take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, count in your mind, and then begin your speech. Give your powerful opening to your audience. Maybe greet, Happy Earth Day, everyone. A great speech is a great speech to your audience means that you are giving a gift. You have to be remembered and create an impact. Now, how do you do that? You raise awareness, our second R. Out of the 10 topics that you called, you might want to trim it down. You can run through the 10 main topics and just maybe talk about 3 points. And why do we want that? I'm going to the third R, recall. Instead of 10, when you put it into 3, you can create more impact to your audience because you're giving them shorter things to remember so that it would not sound as if you are reading a manuscript from and telling it to your audience. Because these are things that some audience might find, oh, it's Googleable. She just read everything, or is this her experience? To add more impact, I want you to put a little story. Out of the 10, maybe you said about eating meat free, you can give your personal experience. You can say, I started eating meat free. And you know how I did that? Then give your personal story so that people will be able to relate to the things, the tips that you are giving instead of just throwing it out to the audience. It was a wonderful speech, and I would just want you to do the 3 R's the next time you give your speech. Relax, raise awareness, and create recall. You can do this by asking questions, checking if your audience is with you, asking them, engage them as you go along with your speech. Overall, I would love to hear your stories and continue delivering speeches. It was wonderful and you are very brave. Thank you for reminding us to live purposefully and be mindful in the planet where we live in. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you for your very efficient evaluation, Jay. I believe we should be on a break at this moment. If Mr. President? Okay. Yes, I am going to ask that
we should have a break.
Yes, I'm going to ask that we take another break for 10 minutes.
Mr. TME, may we vote for the best speaker first before the break, please? Yeah.
Sure. How can we not?
For the time report, I think only Asmina that fall into the time frame. So the speaker second and the third exceed the time frame.
Can we hear the timing, please?
For Asmina, 7 minutes. For Kanan Sankara is 7:37. Angela, 7:40.
have a few more seconds to vote for our best speaker. If you haven't voted as yet, please do so. Okay, the voting has ended and we are now on a break for 10 minutes. Welcome back, guys. Now that we are well on the way we have already had one evaluation, let's go into our second evaluation, and that would be for Toastmaster DTM Kanan Sankara. Angela, will you be doing that evaluation?
I thought someone else was doing it.
No worries. We will do a round robin evaluation of Kanan Sankara's presentation. We'll start off the evaluation hearing from DTM Lee Butley.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening. DTM Kanan Sankara, I love your HPL project. It's very motivating to see the effort that you've put in to try to assist the online clubs to increase their membership base. As you can appreciate, with the online clubs, it's a different atmosphere. It's different type of learning. We don't get that human touchy-feely connection that we do get at the physical club. The other thing too is, as I mentioned earlier, I have to look at, for example, the camera rather than as a person, and I can't shake someone's hand, but I have to do the virtual wave. I applaud you for all the efforts that you've put into your HPL project. As you mentioned and shared with us in your first speech, as well as in this speech, there were some initiatives that worked very well. For example, with the Singapore Singapore International Dynamic Speakers Club, we have guests doing the table topics, and we have new members trying to encourage guests to join as members as well. May I suggest, because it's a HPL project, and this is your second speech, you could perhaps remind us as to what the objectives of your HPL project is. For example, the specific objective, instead of just saying that, we want to enroll online members. What I'm trying to get to is, if I am a member who's trying to do another HPL project, I'm looking at your HPL project as the guidance, as to the lessons learned, what went well, what didn't go too well, and what I could do better in the future if I were to take on my HPL that is similar to yours. Okay? So if you could share perhaps focus more on the lessons learned, what went well, what didn't go too well, and what I could do better in the future if I were to take up the HPL project. And with that, I do congratulate you on all your tremendous efforts and on how you motivated us to do our HPL project as well. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, DTM Lee. Canon, I loved your presentation. I particularly like that you highlighted the social media aspect of encouraging members to join. We live in a very unsocial social world. Thanks to COVID-19, we are not interacting face-to-face or in person as much, but we are all on social media, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram. And I believe that is where the emphasis should be for recruiting online members. If it's in their face, if it is in their news stream, they will return to your club, especially if they're highlighted. You pointed out that when guests get the opportunity to speak, they feel included and they're interested in coming back. I believe that's the key for us to attract and retain members. Again, I loved your presentation and I commend you for highlighting the social media aspect of attracting and retaining members. Anyone else have a comment on Toastmaster Cannon's presentation?
Yes.
Angela and then Jay.
I'd heard something similar from Canon before, and I thought the point about the paying Facebook was very interesting. I thought it would be very helpful to have a series of slides with advice that he could send us and to put that in the chat box and then to forward us the instructions, because it's all quite complicated, like what you do on Facebook to sign up and who you pay and how you make sure you stopped it and aren't committed to Facebook paying out this money every week for a year and so on. I mean, that would be quite technical and it would be awfully handy to have it in slide form. I thought it was a very useful thing because it's useful not only for online clubs, but everybody's online at the moment. So it's useful for clubs all around the world. And I'm a coach of a club, so it'd be useful to me. Regarding language, he said one thing that I would point out. He said, what makes you two? And you don't need the word to. You could just say what makes you do so and so, not what makes you two do something. That's a superfluous word. So there's my English teacher bit coming in. All in all, very interesting. And I want to grab hold of this set of instructions and have them. Thank you. Back to you, Edward.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angela. Jay, for your evaluation.
Toastmaster Cannon is an admirable speaker. You have great points and a lot of supporting details to add to that. You made use of simple terms, easy enough for us to understand what happens in an HPL, and we are encouraged to follow your footsteps and finish our pathway. So congratulations on that. Since we're talking about technology, I would like to recommend to you focusing on the aesthetics. Great use of presentation slides. You might want to add a bit of more pictures as to what transpired during your projects, maybe some infographics, because people nowadays are not used to reading a lot of stuff. You might want to highlight it with pictures and actual things that transpired during your project. Other than that, congratulations and great use of aesthetics PowerPoint presentation. Congratulations on your HPL, Ken.
Thank you, Jay. Anyone else? Gracie, would you like to give it a shot?
Sure. I thought it was very, presented. I think the information was concise and very easy to follow, which is obviously a very good quality to have when you're delivering a presentation. I think that what was really nice is that it wasn't overly complex in the sense that us as audience, at least I felt that, I could actually take in the information and sort of digest it, take it in better and analyze the context behind it, even though it isn't exactly something that I would think about researching independently on my own. So you really got me interested, hooked on the information that you were presenting. And I think that as a public speaker, that's what everyone is trying to do. So in that regard, you've done a beautiful job. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you, Gracie. With that, we move on to our third evaluation of today's manual presentation. And for that, we have DTM Michael. DTM Michael.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. And fellow Toastmasters, Mr. President, distinguished Toastmaster Willie Lee, distinguished Toastmaster Lee, distinguished Toastmaster Sankara, and all of you in this room. It's a pleasure to be here. And most important to Angela. Angela, since we've never met, only online now, I can only evaluate you on 3 points and then give you my recommendations and suggestions on your presentation today on camera, the new normal. So first, I will evaluate you how I see you, then 2, how I hear you, and 3, how I react to your presentation, and of course 4, recommendations and suggestions. Remember, this is just my opinion, how I saw your presentation today. 1, how I see you on camera. You're not sitting down, you're standing up. You're confident, you're poised. You wore white and a hat. You have a natural smile, you have a beautiful smile. Body language is very animated. Eye contact with the camera. You're a show person, or I think you know what I'm trying to say here. You're very animated, and you have facial expressions that are very, very expressive. I like that. And you know how to engage your audience. In my opinion, how I see you. 2, how I hear you. You have a very soft, natural voice. Good energy, calm, down to earth. You start slow, but at the end of your presentation, you tend to move a little fast. Now, in my understanding, when we speak like that with an international audience, I don't know if the audience is going to understand you. I don't know. But I enjoy listening to you. I heard you very well. So for me, it wasn't difficult. That's number 2. 3, how I react to your story. The egg, you made me laugh, you made me smile. You entertained me, you touched the nerve. You touch a good nerve, I like that. It's Friday, and you touch a nerve of being fun, telling us a beautiful story about I'm going to live, which is right now a very serious topic. And you asked us to put our hands over our heart and say, I'm going to live. Very deep presentation here. But I don't want to get too much into that because I wrote 5 pages of evaluation here. In closing, what can I recommend to you right now in suggestions? Your microphone. For some reason, I hear it doesn't sound very correct for me. There's something with your microphone that doesn't come across very well. Maybe it's a technical issue, I don't know. But Angela, your presentation today was spot on. You're a class act. You like entertaining people. I know that, I've never met you before, but once you're on stage, you're a different person. When you're sitting down, you're another person. Well, that's Toastmasters virtual. Sitting down or standing up. You got that little magic when you're on stage there. And I like that. You're a class act. Thank you very much for allowing me to evaluate you. Mr. Toastmaster, I'll return it back to you.
Thank you, DTM Michael. And now we will vote for the evaluation. Oh, sorry. Yes.
The evaluation is supposed to be 3, right? Oh, there is 4.
We did a round robin.
Sorry. I only record 3 evaluators, which is Jay, Mike, and Lee Buckley.
No problem.
Yeah, and then for the timer, only Lee Buckley that meet the time frame. For the Gracie, I didn't time.
Okay. Okay, almost there. If you haven't voted as yet, please do so. Okay. I have a few more seconds. If you haven't voted, please do so. Oh, you will be a chief judge tomorrow in Spain?
Yes, Edward, yeah, I'm the chief judge. We got 15 judges for the English contest from all over the world.
Wow.
So
Congrats.
they're very excited to be here. So Qatar, Philippines, Thailand, Turkey, South Africa, and then Germany, Switzerland, France. So we got a big group, and we have to have a brief tonight. The judge. So I have to leave 5 minutes prior, or 2 or 3 minutes prior.
Okay. All right. Well, we were glad to have you this evening.
I'm glad to be here. We still got 5-10 minutes, so we're doing good. We are doing
okay.
And I'm happy to be here, Eddie.
Glad to have met you. See you again.
If I look forward to coming back, if you have me to come back, if you allow me to come back. This is a good group, a good team, and it's always a pleasure to come to Singapore. I wanted to retire.
Always welcome, Mike. You are always
Thank you.
welcome. The doors are always.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Willie, Mr. President.
We'll put you as an evaluator next week as well. For the rest of Lee.
Yes.
You want Mike to be a member?
Yes.
Absolutely. Look, we're great minds think alike. We even have the same colors, Mike. Red and black.
Yes, welcome Mike to be our member. Join our family. We'll be very happy. We welcome you with open arms.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, guys, to find out who our best table topics, our best presenter, and our best evaluator are, I turn the floor over to our very own DTM Lee Butler.
Yeah, just.
Oh, sorry. Will it be you doing the announcement? Yes, sorry. DTM Willie Lowe will announce the winners for us.
Drum roll, please. Where early? The best table topic speaker, there's a tie. We have guest Chrissy again and JJ for Soul, the best table topic speaker. That's a tie. So I can't give a tiebreaker because every time the Toastmaster of the day or the BPE will ask me to choose someone, but I will not choose. We have a tie. The best prepared speaker go to Angela Lansbury.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. The best evaluator go to our friend for Spain, Mike Mori, and our own Libali.
My twin, is it?
Congratulations to our winners and for setting the
Motivation
bar.
Motivation does not come when you keep doing the same thing again without any improvement. Motivation comes when you keep improving yourself. Correct, Mike? So, fellow Toastmaster, whether we did it right or we did it incorrect in this chapter meeting, we learn from mistake and we move on to a bit better Toastmaster of the day, timer, table topic master, workshop speaker, as well as evaluator. We are here to improve ourselves, and that will leave us motivate to attend a Toastmaster meeting next Friday, same time, same day, same time zone. Thank you. And before we go, let us ask the guests, some of the guests who are still around. Peter Chong from Malaysia. And if how you find the meeting?
Hello.
Yeah, how you find the meeting so far?
Very interesting. Hope can join you on next week and become one of your member.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, Jay, you are back again after so long. How you find this meeting as compared to previous, or it's always better and better?
It keeps getting better each time I attend. So I encourage those who are not yet members, join this fun educational club. Congratulations for another successful meeting. I'll see you again. Thanks for having me.
You should also sign the form as well.
Yeah.
JJ as well. JJ, how you find as compared to the previous time?
Yeah, I was following Jay from Philippines. So in my time zone, I attended a meeting in Indonesia at 8:30 p.m. and that club has a 1 hour meeting. And then I was working on my club meeting tomorrow in the morning at 10:30 in my time zone. And then Jay was popping up in front of me, and she was dragging me down to the earth, and she threw a link. Then I followed the link. So Jay dragged me down to the earth. Thank you, Jay.
How about Tracy?
Wait. Actually, I have question for JJ from Korea. Hi, JJ.
Yeah.
Nice to see you here.
Connie, can we do it after I'm going to close the meeting? So we do it later.
Okay, sure.
Tracy, you are back again. How you find the meeting to as compared to last week? It's better? Yeah, you need to unmute yourself.
Hello. Sorry, I couldn't really hear anything for a while. I think it's my earphones. Give me a sec to disconnect them. Okay, is anyone speaking or is everyone just silent?
We can hear you.
Your feedback about the meeting tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I have to agree with some of the initial comments regarding the meeting. This club, and I know I've said this last week, is wonderfully diverse in the best way possible. And as everyone was speaking, what I noticed is that people like Jay, people like Patricia, they were actually just clapping along. They were giving little reactions. And I think that it's just that positive reinforcement is just amazing because people know they're being listened to. And I think that this is the reason a lot of us join these clubs, to feel like whatever we have to say matters and that we are being heard. And something about this meeting just feels really natural. There's no forced positivity or anything of the sort. And of course, our wonderful Toastmaster of the meeting has managed to keep everything in such wonderful, perfect order. I like that the speakers were very, very personal. Like they gave very personal speech topics in the sense that it wasn't overly cliche. It wasn't exaggerated. It wasn't something you'd find on Reddit or Tumblr. It was actually from the heart. And I think above all, I love that everyone here is just genuinely and sincerely looking to help each other grow. And I will continue saying this as much as needed, but I think I really, really admire this club, and it just adds a lot of spice to my Friday night. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Any more feedback for the guests? before I make one last very important. Many of you who have joined Toastmaster or have not joined Toastmaster yet, do you have a technique to give feedback to anyone? So I ask we just follow this evaluator style of reading. Next week, we have one of our member, Thomas Chen, to give evaluate to the speaker, how you can evaluate with a technique. That's where he shared his technique of giving evaluation in a short manner, right, Lee? Because for us, I tend to have one whole chart of information for evaluation, but I don't know how to cut down. So we have our member who Thomas Chen who can help us you to give a better feedback with a method. Let's end this meeting and we can continue after meeting chat again.